Hello, Cryptonauts, and welcome back to another episode of Cryptocurrency Chat. I am your host, Blockchain John, here with my co-host, Jake Jabrelli and Crypto Lissa. All right, so you guys, what's up? What's been going on? Lissa, how's it going? Happy fun weekend.
Yeah, for sure. Total fun weekend. I'm not looking forward to the next week, but hey, we're just gonna hang out and buy this dip that's happening.
Oh yeah.
How was your weekend?
Weekend, busy. I mean, it feels like it just started. It's 3-day weekend, but it's not like just stay at home and rest. It's like I'm running around, doing things. But I definitely want to buy the dip for sure.
Yeah, definitely dying the dip too here.
What's up, Jake?
It's been busy because I'm still working. I'm doing development on Dynamo, so I really hope that sometime this evening we'll be releasing version 3. It's been fun to some degree to be involved in the development process of it, but it's also a lot of work, which is, I don't know. The entrepreneur doesn't get paid hourly. An entrepreneur gets paid at the end of the gig. But this content is for entertainment purposes only. Any contents made by us, the host, or any guest we may have on the show is not financial advice.
Alrighty, Cryptonauts, let's go ahead and get started with your top 10 daily stats provided by coingecko.com. First, we have, you know what? Refresh. How about that? Let's refresh. It's always good to refresh. Bitcoin settling at 38,000. What was that?
Doesn't make a difference. I said I don't think refreshing is going to make a difference with that bloodbath.
I was going to say hopefully it's back. We're back in the green. Bitcoin settling at $38,376.22 with a 7-day loss of 9.1% and a market cap of $727 billion. Ouch. Number 2, we have Ethereum settling at $2,620.10 with a 7-day loss of 10.2% and a market cap of $313 billion. And number 3, we have Tether settling at $1. No gain, no loss in the past 7 days and a market cap of $79 billion. Number 4, we have BNB settling at $381.04 with a 7-day loss of 5.5% and a market cap of $64 billion. Number 5, we have USD coin, another stable coin settling at $1 with a no gain, no loss in the past 7 days and a market cap of $52 billion. Number 6, we have XRP settling at 77 cents with a 7-day loss of 5.6% and a market cap of $37 billion. Ouch. Number 7, we have Cardano settling at 93 cents with a 7-day loss of 11.2%. in the past 7 days, and a market cap of $30 billion. Number 8, we have Solana settling at $91.85 with a 7-day loss of 4% and a market cap of $29 billion. Number 9, we have Terra settling at $49.51 with a 7-day loss of 4.8% and a market cap of $19 billion. And last but not least, Cryptonauts, for the top 10 daily stats, we have Avalanche settling at $77.57 with a 7-day loss of 4.4% and a market cap of $19 billion. And of course, we have the next 5 runner-ups. I call these Jake's favorites. We have Polkadot, Dogecoin, Binance USD, Shiba Inu, and Terra USD. All right. Bloodbath it is, as you can see.
Avalanche and Terra are neck and neck at the moment because they're only about $200 million off from each other.
Yeah.
There's a significant difference. You can see it because there's about $10 billion between Terra and Solana. But Cardano and Solana are pretty close. And then there's another, $7 billion between Cardano and Ripple. And then there's like almost $20 billion between USD and Ripple. So it's a pretty big, you get an algorithmic or a logarithmic change as you go toward Bitcoin, even though Bitcoin is now less than $750 billion.
That's crazy, man.
It's crypto winter, I think Buterin called it, crypto winter.
I think that's a true statement. Yeah. But I'm not worried, man. I'm not worried. Still stack sats and hodl, right? That's the motto. It's time to just buy some more, man. Buy the dip, man.
Buy the dip, stack sats,
things are on
hodl, buy
sale.
the dip.
It's like this is like a 10-15% sale right now. Why not?
Oh yeah. Yep. Buy some.
All right, Cryptonauts.
Not financial advice.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Don't get mad at me. You lose more. All right, Cryptonauts. The overall total market cap is at $1.82 trillion, down by 3.8% in the past 24 hours. Now, the top right corner, there is a little candy jar here at coingecko.com. And let's see. You can collect your candies like I'm doing right now. Ding, there it is. Collected it. And good thing we're doing the podcast today, because I didn't collect my candies last night. So this is technically my candies from last night. I was so busy I totally forgot to do that. Okay, cool. So I got more candies to collect today. Awesome.
Since we're on the left coast of the United States, our timing is off by about 5 hours. I think technically CoinGecko resets at GMT, but since we're 7 hours minus, it happens at 5 o'clock in the afternoon for us. So.
And of course, you can use those candies to buy yourself some awesome NFTs or some discounts on some products and services here at coingecko.com. All right, Jake, back to you.
All right, we appreciate everybody listening in, and if you're watching us on YouTube, you can always like and subscribe. But you can always like on other platforms too. That always works. It helps us with the algorithm. We post our podcasts every Wednesday and Sunday, like today, which is in the United States known as President's Weekend. That's why it's a 3-day for those of us who work. Do you get that time off, John? You get Monday off?
Oh yeah, that's why I'm busy, man. It's funny because my days off means that I'm more busy.
You can check us out on Discord and check out the market, and there's always lots of tokens to get and lots of discussions going on there in Discord. We appreciate you coming out and checking out our Discord. You can also support us on Patreon or through some various coins that we collect: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, BAT, or Raven. Hopefully at some point Dynamo, if that ever becomes a thing. And so check us out in the link, the coin tree, which is explicitly for crypto stuff, in the link section below.
Below. All right, Cryptonauts. You know what? The first one I want to give to Lissa. You want to take that?
Okay.
News from CryptoPotato.com. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So this first article is written by Dimitar Zanzarov and President Biden to issue an executive order on crypto next week. The president of the USA, Joe Biden, will reportedly introduce an executive order directing government agencies to study the specifics of the cryptocurrency industry, keeping in mind that the leader has imposed numerous regulations since the start of his presidency reign. He is expected to urge for establishing rules in the digital asset space too. The forthcoming directive should come sometime in the next week, as it will focus on central bank digital currencies. An executive order is signed, written, and published directive from the President of the United States that manages operations of the federal government. Despite being highly important, it is not official legislation, as Congress has the authority to overturn it. As of February 15th, 2022, President Joe Biden has signed 80 such orders, according to a recent coverage. His next one will be oriented towards cryptocurrencies, CBDCs, and their respective regulation in the U.S. market. The Democrat could request from Departments of Treasury, State, Justice, and Homeland Security to design a comprehensive regulatory framework for the industry. Those agencies should also develop a report on the future of money and payment systems. Man? Is that supposed to be Maine or man?
I think it's Maine.
Maine?
Okay. I may have misspelled it.
Yeah, I was like, that doesn't look right. Okay, Maine crypto proponents argue that the world is going digital, placing Bitcoin and the altcoins at the center stage. And as such, they believe cash is not so preferred anymore, which is kind of true. I don't carry cash. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't carry cash. At the same time, fiat currencies are gradually losing their value due to rising global inflation, which could make cryptocurrencies a more attractive option for investors. Biden's executive order could look at measures to protect consumers, businesses, and investors. Specifically, the directive might call upon transparency and enhanced Know Your Customer KYC rules. The report further indicates that Biden's administration could coordinate with other nations to standardize the crypto rules. Many wonder if the U.S. lawmakers will introduce a specifically designed cryptocurrency legislation, or they will treat the industry as traditional financial assets such as stocks or bonds. Biden's predecessors, Donald Trump and Barack Obama, also issued executive orders on digital assets while being in power. In 2018, Trump signed a directive barring any U.S.-based financial transactions involving Venezuela's cryptocurrency. In 2015, Obama allowed authorities to confiscate digital assets connected to significant malicious cyber-enabled activities. He also enabled officials to seize such tokens without prior notice. Unlike China, the American government has no intention to ban all cryptocurrency activities. Fed Chair Jerome Powell asserted that in October 2021, adding that supervision in the space is necessary. Stablecoins, in particular, are assets that need special regulatory attention, he warned. A few days later, the head of the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, Gary Gensler, reiterated such plans. He also raised concerns over stablecoins, arguing they could cause financial stability issues to the country's monetary network. Earlier this year, Gensler also touched upon cryptocurrency exchanges. He opined that Washington's financial watchdogs should directly regulate such trading venues.
Well then.
Yeah, that was. Thank you for reading that up for us, Lisa. I think it covers pretty much everything I would have said, anyways, other than the fact that it's mainly the reason the downturn is happening right now, right? The reason we're experiencing such a strong bear market is that people are really worried that it's going to become more heavily regulated. I really hope, as it made mention, that we're moving toward stock-like interactions than like securities interactions.
So here's my question. Should Joe Biden be a really good friend to crypto, considering that he's pushing the market down, allowing the general public to invest, not just big institutional investors to invest? Because right now this is giving the people the opportunity to buy just a little bit more, you know, right now is a good time to get into it. Not financial advice.
Yeah, I mean, do I think Joe Biden really comprehends what he's talking about? No, and it's not just because of political perspectives either way. I don't think he's a maximalist, minimalist, or somebody who really gets the overall meaning of it. I know he's been a politician most of his life, but that doesn't necessarily mean he understands the common man. But the one thing I'm really hoping that in his actions they take into consideration, or the government takes into consideration in general, is looking at investment in crypto as a mode for anyone and not just, quote, accredited investors. Mm-hmm. I know what the meaning of accredited investor is, and I've never been one. Close, but never really been one. And that is basically you need a lot of spare cash, more than what is considered to be enough to live on, like far more than enough to live on, which basically, like, let's say a living wage is $50,000 a year. I'm just throwing a number. I'm not saying that's what it is. If you had $300,000 either in annual income or $500,000 in just cash sitting around, you could probably pretty easily live on $50,000 because you have way more than that amount. And that's where they kind of peg. It's not quite that high a number, but it's kind of pegging that at that. So it's like if you make or have 5 to 10 times as much as you need, then you can become accredited. What people who quote unquote need that money in order to live, they don't want those people to invest anything because they don't want to throw their money away on something that they could possibly lose. And I keep thinking, it's like, if that's true, then why are people allowed to smoke, drink, and have coffee in their life? These things can kill you, but you're allowed to spend money on them every single day. People buy coffee and cigarettes constantly, but that could kill you. Why are you allowed to spend your money on that? I guess what I'm trying to say is the accredited is a terrible judgment of who you are, saying you're not smart enough to know how to spend money. That's my opinion on what accreditation means.
So
and I guess what I'm trying to say with
to drink a Red Bull, then, right?
Regardless, it's like if it affects your life in a negative way, you shouldn't do it. And I just don't appreciate the judgment call. I don't think it's theirs to make. It's like, you should warn people that these things can hurt you. You should warn people that investing in these things you could lose your money. You should warn them, but you should not force them to do those things. It should all be warnings.
I think a lot of it has to do with that particular topic is what's that app that I think it's Robinhood, right? Robinhood is where AMC, where all those internet folks,
a lot of people are investing on those ones.
They were truly able to manipulate the market by the masses in comparison to a legitimate and true, I guess they're all investors, but you know what I mean, right? A big investing agency in comparison to a couple of thousands or millions of internet people that have just literally chump change and is making this whole purchase investment to manipulate the market. I think that's the scary part when you start giving people the power to do that kind of stuff.
I guess, but I mean, people are allowed to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, if the big guys can
why
do
is
that, why not the little guys?
Yeah. Why can't people with smaller amounts of money to their name? Fine. Yeah, and it's exactly the thing. It's like Robinhood did give power to the small, the smaller investor, the ability to buy, 10 stocks instead of 1,000 stocks, and I think that's the same thing. I think that at this point where information is much more freely open and moves much more freely, of course you still do need to be intelligent, think about your purchases. It's the reason we say this is not financial advice. We're talking about this because we're knowledgeable about it, but we can't tell you how to do what you're going to do. We can talk about what we would do, but you need to do your own research. You need to figure it out for yourself, and that's what I'm arguing for. If you're protecting people because they're stupid, that's an improper association. Yeah, they might be uneducated. That doesn't mean people are stupid. And I just don't appreciate the attitude of, you don't know what you're doing. We need to do it for you. I do not appreciate it. I don't care what political perspective you hold. Calling people dumb is unfair. So, I guess what I'm saying is, when it comes to this article, as it relates to this, and I know I went out on a board here with my 2 Satoshis, but I don't think Biden by himself could do it. I think with a team of people, especially with industry leaders, people who understand crypto, you could do a lot better. But there's one aspect, and I don't want to, like you said, I don't want to get too much in the weeds with this. I really want to make a point here is the government is not a business. It's there to help people, not make money. It's actually there to spend money, if anything. And it might seem terribly inappropriate because it's never going to act like a capitalistic thing, because it's not. It's there to help people who can't get any help anywhere else, right? It manages the roads, it cleans things up, it makes water clean, hopefully. It's not going to be as efficient as a business. It'd be great if it was. It never will be, in my opinion. I don't think Biden will make new laws, and we will adjust to them. It's going to suck in the short run, but the market will come back. We all know this for sure. The market goes up and down. That's just what it does.
All right, you want to take the next one?
The Gamefi or the 1.7 million?
Oh, Gamefi.
All right, Gamefi. This is from George Georgiev. Gamefi thriving as January saw a $1 billion invested in blockchain games. The latest report from DAP Radar is up, and the numbers reveal a clear trend in the growing Gamefi section. It appears that the interest in the space is higher than ever as money keeps finding its way into blockchain-based online gaming projects. I definitely agree with this. According to January's report by a popular data resource, DAP Radar Gamefi is booming, and blockchain-based online games received over $1 billion in funding in January alone. For comparison, the entire 2021, that entirety of 2021's sector saw investments worth only $4 billion. So there's a lot more going on here. Interestingly, the report also reveals that a particular category for 52% of blockchain activity in 2022 so far. One of the leading names in the field remains Harmony's DeFi Kingdom, or Jewel. The game generated over $1.5 billion in transactions through January, which is 243% more than Axie Infinity, a behemoth in the blockchain gaming space. Jewel also has $775 million in total value locked, representing a whopping 60% of the total value locked on the entire Harmony network. The report also notes that the third quarter of 2021, blockchain-based games managed to become the most dominant DApp category when it came to usage. Back then, they accounted for 45% of activity within the entire industry, and the number has now risen to 52%. Not a huge amount, but that was only a quarter ago. Be it as it may, one of the most important metrics for these projects is their user retention. For example, Splinterlands, one of the more popular games, also currently the most played one, saw a growth in its unique activity wallets by 4.5% in January compared to December 2021, as the number currently sits at 312,000 UAW. Crypto Potato reached out to Splinterlands for commentary on the above, and here's what Jesse Agrode Reich, the CEO and co-founder of the project, had to say. January was an incredible month for Splinterlands. We released our 6th card edition, which is called Chaos Legion. It has been remarkably popular, and we saw a ton of accounts come back to get the new packs and re-engage. While we also saw a bunch of new players come into the ecosystem. Another game that has noted a slight increase on the number of UAW is Axie Infinity. There's a user account, I don't know what UAW stands for, but or somebody does, which enjoys over 100,000 daily unique active wallets. There it is, unique active wallets, my bad. Interestingly enough, Sky Mavis, the developer of Axie, claims that there are 2.8 daily active users playing the game every single day. Is that 2.8 daily? Doesn't it mean 2.8 million? I don't know. Yeah. Probably left out a factor there. But so UAW is unique active wallets.
So crypto games are going back up, just like everything else in crypto. Right now, we're always seeing them in a crash, but crypto gaming, which is always fun to do. I love it. I think one of the first games I played was I guess Ethermon was like the most legitimate one. And this was when Ethereum was very affordable, and I was literally paying like anywhere between 4 to 6 cents per transaction to battle and stuff. Nowadays, obviously, you can't do that. And if I'm not mistaken, Ethermon has integrated with Matic to use the Polygon chain to make those transactions a lot more affordable, which is great because obviously the developers from Ethermon, they want to continue to build this ecosystem larger, and being restricted by the Ethereum chain is horrible, especially for games. So if these game developers can move to other chains that are a lot more affordable and faster, I think that's what games need. I think the Ethereum main chain for games, no. For social media, decentralized social media networks on blockchain using Ethereum or Bitcoin, no. Main chains, no. It has to be like side chains or second layer chains for sure, if anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's one of the things that as the price of a coin exceeds its initial founding point, like if you start out like a couple of pennies or something for a coin, and eventually if you come, that's the reason that I proposed this to Tron Black, one of the co-founders of Raven. If the price of Raven ever went to $100 or $3,000, how would you then afford to, mint NFTs? Well, no one would be able to, and that's the problem. Is that at that point, you need a secondary chain or something that's tied to it so that you can afford to continue to make transactions. But this is the problem with ETH, as we know. It's not just the impacted number of transactions possible. Of course, with the roll-up functionality, we can do that arbitrage or Arbitrum. But if you don't develop that secondary functionality, then you just can't use the chain for anything. It's just ridiculously expensive. I mean, even if you had, let's say, somebody had 100,000 ETH. Sounds ridiculous, but let's say, would you want to still continue to spend effectively $100 per transaction to play the game? You'd be throwing your money away, right? Even though you'd have millions, why would you want to play a game that's so ridiculously expensive unless you're just a person who's like, well, I buy a Lamborghini every other day and I crash it the following day. It's just stupid. You could do it, but why, right? So it's a game of scale. We need something that, as the price scales, the transaction cost does not, so that new players can get in. I mean, I don't play Ethermon and I don't play Axie Infinity, but I do play Upland. And fortunately, Upland doesn't have a ridiculously high cost of transaction, but it can over time.
Take a moment to explain that. So Upland is not a blockchain-based game, but they do have NFTs, correct?
It is a blockchain-based, because whenever you purchase a property in the game, it's minted as an NFT.
Right, but the network of you playing the game, so when you open up the app, because I haven't played it, I'm assuming when you open up the app, that app is just more of a AWS platform where you're utilizing the game functionality, but you creating that transaction of getting those real estate NFTs. That is what's
right. It is proof of stake. It's proof of stake. It's not proof of work. I would love it if they did proof of work instead. But yes, when you purchase, when you have your coin and you buy or you trade with another player for one of their, you basically get another NFT. You're trading for a different NFT. Mm-hmm. Trading the coin within the platform for NFTs. Now, if you buy them from the company, which is the original minting, source, then that's when you mint the initial NFT.
What chain? What blockchain are they using?
They're using their own proprietary.
Oh, okay.
So, all right. It is internal to them, but they still do everything through the chain. So, and yes, you can exchange NFTs on their chain for US dollars.
Cool. All right, let's head on to the next one. What do we have? Market Watch?
Yeah. Well, no, the Market Watch, we're not doing that. We're doing the 1.7 million
Okay,
ETH.
got it. Okay, so this one is from Jordan Lionchev. $1.7 million in ETH stolen from Opensea users. The NFT marketplace investigates. OpenSea users complain about a phishing attack that resulted in countless stolen non-fungible tokens, according to Peck Shield. At the same time, the NFT marketplace said it was investigating these rumors, and any attack was not related to its website. Reports started to emerge earlier from OpenSea users who saw unsettling behavior in their accounts. Shortly after, the blockchain security company Peck Shield alerted that there was an ongoing phishing attack, requesting clients to authorize the mitigation to another OpenSea website promising to be gas-free. I mean, isn't that kind of like a red flag already? But okay. Team behind
like that Tao that tried to buy the constitutional document?
Yeah. The team behind the marketplace said they were actively investigating rumors of an exploit, adding that the incident was indeed a phishing attack, originating outside of OpenSea's website. Company co-founder Devin Finzer also weighed in on the matter later on, indicating that 32 users have signed a malicious payload from an attacker, and some of their NFTs were stolen. And here's a tweet from Devin Finzer. I know you're all worried. We're running an all-hands-on-deck investigation, but I wanted to take a minute to share the facts as I see them. As far as we can tell, this is a phishing attack. We don't believe it's connected to OpenSea website. It appears 32 users thus far have signed a malicious payload from the attacker, and some of the NFTs were stolen. Continue Moving on, Finzer further asserted that the team believes that the attacker had stopped as there were no more reports of phishing emails. Additionally, he refuted rumors that were $200 million stolen from the platform. Their internal estimations showed that these perpetrators sold some NFTs worth $1.7 million in ETH for now. PeckShield provided a list of the allegedly stolen NFTs, according to where there's hundreds of ERC 721 purloined?
Yeah,
purloined. Digital artworks and dozens of ERC 1155 once swiped from users. Some of those include Bored Ape Yacht Clubs, Azuki, Farmland by Pixels, and more. We gotta take a moment to build up some two satoshis on this right now. How do you educate people not to fall for phishing attacks?
I've been trying to do this for 20 years as an IT professional. It's really hard.
Back in my days.
You really have to. All right, so part of the problem, and I hate to put it this way, is a foreigner issue. All right, if you don't speak the language in the country of which you're new to, you may struggle to understand when people tell you things if they don't tell you in your native language. And there also may be environmental differences. Sometimes people are looking for something, but they're hoping, particularly when it comes to OpenSea. What are people looking for? They're looking for money. I'm not talking about the fishers. I'm talking about the people who got fished. They're looking to make money. And they're also trusting. The biggest problem we run into, in my opinion, when it comes to a big platform is you attract a lot of noob users who don't know what they're doing. This literally harkens back to what Biden and I would say Elizabeth Warren in the U.S. are trying to do. Senator Elizabeth Warren. They're trying to protect noobs from getting ripped off. And even with the protections that the United States currently has in place for current stock, people still get ripped off. The difference is, when a person gets ripped off, there's a recourse, right? With Bitcoin, there is some recourse, right? You might be able to find the people who stole your money and then either maybe not force them to give it back to you, but at least throw them in jail or maybe fine their money and get it back that way. But without these regulations in place, you got screwed, right? And what do? You do nothing, right? So with the OpenSea platform being so huge and so many people coming into it, people are going to get hosed. They're going to get screwed. They're going to get fished. They're going to, whatever term you want to use to describe, fooled, stolen, robbed, when they're not paying attention. They're just high on the, I'm making so much money, oh my gosh. Yeah, fooling is money or soon parted. It's a very old adage. So how do you prevent that? You don't prevent it. There's a really great, I had a strange analogy to use in this case. If you watch the history of the airline industry from the Wright brothers to now, you will see a lot of airplanes that went down for various reasons over the last 100 years. It sucks that those people had to be martyred for those purposes. But we learned something from that. Don't do those bad things. Have better emergencies. Have better, safety protocols in place to keep people from dying. Do good maintenance. Do things that help the people involved to not get screwed. Now, it sucks to have to be a person who's screwed by this phishing scheme, but now you're an example. I mean, my personal claim to infamous or infame is that at my university that I went to, I was the guy that everybody talks about who didn't make it to the test on time that the professor talked about for ages. Oh, you're the guy. Yes, I'm the guy that didn't make it to the test on time and therefore literally flunked the class. So I am a legendary, an infamous legend in those. Some people are going to be that. You're going to be a martyr. And so it sucks. But if hopefully you learn from the mistakes of others, you will not be a victim in the future. We can't prevent this entirely.
Let me ask you something. You don't have to answer this. I'm just curious if you have this experience or you're actively doing this, investing into like ICOs, I guess. You're investing into early stage startups, new projects that are coming out on blockchain, and being an early investor in it. Are you actively doing that, or are you more
Yes.
conservative and just sticking with like blue collar, blue chip?
No, I'm definitely investing in new coins when they come out. I'll take airdrops. But the rule. I hate to use the maxim rule of thumb because I don't really like the meaning of it. But the basic rule is never, and this is my personal rule. Whether you follow it or not is up to you. Never invest more than 10% of your value in a high risk idea.
Okay.
If you have a question I used to ask people all the time was, do you have how much is a lot of money for you to lose? Like if you lost a $10 bill, would it bother you? If you lost a $100 bill, would it bother you? If you lost 10 $100 bills, $1,000, would it bother you?
Nah.
Some people would say yes. Some people would say like $10 is too little to lose or too much to lose. Some people would say 100. Some people would say 1,000. It depends on your risk, level or risk of aversion. And if you're averse at $100, maybe $50, you're fine. Yeah, I could lose $50. If $50 is your losing point, then invest $50 in that thing, and then you won't. And then when you inevitably lose it, you won't be like, oh, I really missed that $50.
Right.
No, you don't. So look at your personal level of risk. What are you willing to lose? And invest that. Even though you could make more if you invested more. But you have to look at where your risk level is. So it's like, well, if I invested $5,000, I'd make, $1 million. Yes. But can you afford to lose $5,000? No? Don't do it then.
Well said. That's a good few satoshis there for the Cryptonauts. That was a meaty one for sure. Yeah. I knew you had that in you. All right, let's move on. Lissa, wake up.
The criminal whales.
Take the next one. Where are we at? Criminal whales? Okay.
Yeah.
Criminal whales. So this is again written by Dimitar Zanzarov. Criminal whales hold more than 25 billion worth of crypto. The blockchain data company Chainalysis claimed that criminal whales represent 3.7 of all cryptocurrency whales. Those bad actors collectively own over $25 billion worth of digital assets. Cryptocurrencies have many merits, and numerous experts maintain that they represent a financial revolution. However, Bitcoin and the altcoins have their critics too. These claim that drug traffickers, terrorists, and money launderers employ such assets in their illicit activities. In line with the aforementioned accusation, the New York-based blockchain analysis company Chainalysis identified 4,068 criminal cryptocurrency whales, which is 3.7% of all, who collectively possess more than 25 billion worth of digital assets. The firm explained that every entity owns over 1 million in crypto. It is worth noting that most whales receive either a relatively small or substantial share of their total balance from illegal addresses. 1,374 got between 10 and 25% of their assets from illegitimate wallets, while 1,361 obtained between 90% and 100%. Illicit funds received by criminal whales came from various sources. The darknet at 37, roughly 38% ranked first, while scams 32% held second place. Stolen funds, fraud shop, and ransomware completed the top 5 positions. Additionally, Chainalysis.
It's Chainalysis because they're just merging two words in analysis and chain into the same word, so it's Chainalysis.
But analysis isn't spelled right.
I know, but it's English. We butcher words all the time.
Analyzed where those criminals are located. It assigned UTC zones to the 768 whales whose wallets have enough activity to make a strong estimate. 2, 3, and 4 are the zones containing the most wrongdoers. Interestingly, this area includes Russia's biggest city, Moscow, and St. Petersburg. South Africa, Saudi Arabia, and Iran also fall into these time zones. Quote, investigation of criminal whales represents a significant opportunity for government agencies around the world to continue their string of successful seizures and bring to justice the biggest beneficiaries of cryptocurrency-based crime, chain analysis concluded. Not too long ago, the blockchain analytics company disclosed that the total cryptocurrency value laundered in 2021 was 8.6 billion, 30% more than 2020. Bad actors transferred nearly 17% of those assets to decentralized finance applications, up from 2% in the year before. Chain analysis explained that these numbers account only for funds derived from cryptocurrency native crime, including darknet market sales or ransomware attacks. And they quoted, quote, it's more difficult to measure how much fiat currency derived from offline crime. Traditional drug trafficking, for example, is converted into cryptocurrency to be laundered. However, we know anecdotally this is happening, end quote.
No, this is thinking that one of the things I participated in for about a year now is Pool Together. And one of the things that really threw me for a loop on this one was why somebody would put, at the time, $8 million in USDT into, a Pool Together pool. And it's like, you could definitely be using $8 million somewhere else and be making a lot more interest. But the main thing was that they were doing it to basically corner the entire market on that pool. So basically, it gave an estimate as to how much you'd win, and that one account won every single time. There were 3 wins that you could win. They always won one of them, but it only gave them a tiny fraction of the amount of money you could be making off $8 million. So it's like, if you took $8 million and just put it into the stock market at 5%, you'd make way more money off of it than this tiny pool. Why would you do that? Well, it's probably, my estimate, laundered money. Because no one in their right mind with that much cash would ever just leave it in something that made 0.0001%. That's stupid. But if you're not about making money off of it, you're just about keeping it somewhere, probably criminal activity.
Celsius Network. Check out the referral link below.
Not necessarily most intelligent way of keeping money around. But yeah, Celsius can do what, 8%, right, for USDT?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's much better ways of managing your money. But if, like you said, if it's a criminal activity, it's probably not, they don't care about the interest as much as they care about just holding on to the money. And so there's, per they say, $25 billion here in laundered funds and money held. The thing that I find most fascinating about what Chainalysis is doing here is they're saying, in the past, we didn't necessarily know where stolen money was. Now we can see it. It's public. It's right there in front of us. And they can see where it's going.
All right, next one.
What
do you got?
There don't have any more articles after that. That was all the ones that I picked out.
All right.
What do you want to look at?
I don't know, let's try another 1 or 2 more. Let's see. Jamaica has everything ready for its new Jam Deck CBDC. You want to do that?
Okay. From Felix Mullen. No cash, no problem. I'm not going to try to do a Jamaican accent. That just makes me sound racist. If you are one of those who thinks that physical money is old-fashioned, you might want to move to Jamaica, where the central bank has a similar stance and is getting closer each day to launching its own CBDC. In a press release published this week, the Bank of Jamaica announced, I think we talked about this before, that it had chosen the name, logo, tagline, and visual image of the new digital currency, which it expects to launch this year. Bank of Jamaica subjected the entire branding of the CBDC to a public competition. The name, Jamdex, which is short for Jamaica Digital Exchange, and the tagline, No Cash, No Problem, were proposed by Miss Ashley Payne, who won the prize of 600,000 Jamaican dollars, or roughly $4,000, or US dollars rather, for her entries, plus an additional 50 Jamaican dollars in Jamdex. The Central Bank of Jamaica noted that the slogan for the new CBDC refers to a popular saying that points to being of good cheer in the face, that's cheer, not chair, in the face of adversity. For its part, the D in the name has a bar design similar to those in the US dollar symbol. And here is a visual of that. The logo of the CBDC refers to the ackee, the country's national fruit, I hope I pronounced that correctly, an important element in the country's native traditions. The Bank of Jamaica used all the elements to identify the people with its new currency. In an official statement, there is also explained that they wanted to offer a visually distinctive and easily recognizable image. Here's the quote. We sought something to match the authentic Jamaicanness of the name and the tagline while being simultaneously simple and distinctly bold as the easily recognizable visual element. The decision puts Jamaica in the privileged position among Caribbean nations, at least in terms of banking innovation. So far, the Bahamas and Eastern Caribbean Central Bank have launched their respective CBDCs. The region's first CBDC, the Sand Dollar, that's a pretty cool name, was launched in the Bahamas in October of 2020, while the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank launched Dcash in March 2021. Outside the Caribbean, in Latin America, only Venezuela has launched a CBDC, the Digital Bolivar. Also, other countries such as Peru, Brazil, and Chile are expected to launch their e-currencies very soon. In the north of the continent, Mexico expects to launch a CBDC in 2024, and the United States is still studying the feasibility of a digital dollar. Yeah, we're never going to get to this. Yeah. Especially as a weapon of financial domination to prevent the rise of China's CBDC, or the DECP, while in Central America, El Salvador stands out because although it does not have its own CBDC, it decreed Bitcoin as legal tender.
Ooh. All right.
Oh, yeah,
so everyone around the world is creating their own CBDCs, their e-currencies, their stable coins, their crypto, and the United States is still like with their thumb in their mouth, like, huh? What is
I don't remember how long it took for Nixon to finally, format the decision with his cabinet to take the U.S. off the gold standard, but it wasn't right away. It isn't like he got into office and then, boom, made gold no longer the standard that U.S. dollar was based on. And of course, we've been going downhill ever since, but it's not like it's just an instantaneous thing. I think that places with less ties to the global economy, like Jamaica and or El Salvador, to make that move to something digital. But I mean, we've been doing digital, like Alyssa said earlier. She doesn't use dollars anymore. Mm-hmm. I mean, who does? I do have some green folding paper, but I don't really use it for anything. Mm-hmm. I mean, John, you just use tap to pay, right?
Tap to pay, yep.
Yeah, same here. Tap to pay, or I guess technically debit cards. I don't have any more credit cards.
Yeah, but it's still digital. It's still digital currency.
Yeah, and it's like, yes, it technically is supported by the U.S. dollar, this green folding paper I mentioned earlier, but
a promissory note from a private company.
Yes.
Being the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, we've already moved ahead to the concept of digital dollars for the most part. The thing of it is when it comes to, I guess, I don't want to call them just backwater people, but people who have for so long used checks and dollar bills and the coin change we still use in this country to make transactions, those people are going to have to play catch up. If we move to it, I mean, the U.S. will never, in my opinion, I know that's a bold claim, move away from a physical dollar. We will have the CBDC in the U.S. once we finally decide to do that, and we have for almost 70 years now a credit-based system that relies on a digital interface.
I don't know, Jake.
But
You've been wrong in the past. I think I'm gonna challenge you on that and saying that.
That's fine. I again don't feel bad about making this claim. It's just like Bill Gates' claim of you'll never need more than 640K of RAM. Making a bold claim like this, if I'm proved wrong, I won't be disappointed. But to make a bold claim like this is basically challenging the U.S. to prove me wrong. I want them to go all digital. I do. But I'm saying it'll never happen to kind of like goad them into doing it. It's reverse psychology. So.
All right. Let's go ahead and shoot for one more news article before we call it a day. Oops. Wasn't supposed to do that. Jam decks. All right. Cool. Let's see. There's got to be another good one out here. Let's see. Crypto exchange BitGet signed a sponsorship deal with soccer team Galaxus Ray. No. Let's see. The Bitcoin blocks with the lowest block hash value in history.
How about the first digital acquired by crypto custodian Fireblocks?
Digital Fireblocks? Let's see. I thought I saw that. Where is it at? Fireblocks. Was it on the top or the bottom? I saw it. Where was it at?
It's got a purple unicorn for the image.
Where's that purple? I saw that purple unicorn. There he is. Okay, cool. So this one's written by Andrew Thorovalas. First digital acquired by crypto custodian Fireblocks for $100 million. Yeah. Israeli crypto payment platform First Digital has now been purchased by Fireblocks, another digital asset company in the region, for an estimated $100 million. While formerly providing blockchain infrastructure and crypto custody services, the acquisition will now expand Fireblocks' crypto asset payment service offerings. First Digital is a company that provides stablecoins, API-based payment solutions to institutional clients. It was founded in 2017 by Yariv Gilat and Ron Goldie, and has since expanded leadership to include CTO Daniel Prince and COO Guy Hatter. Now, all 16 members of the company will join Fireblocks, adding to the latter's existing list of 300 employees. The acquisition appears to compromise the bulk of $100 million Fireblocks raised for secondary deals last month. This was part of a larger $550 million raise, which brought the company's total value to $8 billion. As reported by Calcanist, Fireblocks expansion will now will allow payment services providers (PSP) to both make and accept payments in cryptocurrencies. While many such providers show interest in implementing these payments options, they offer Intel various complications around wallet integrations, KYC, AML screening, and emerging blockchain tech, all serving as barriers to entry. Now, Fireblocks plans to introduce cross-border B2C, B2B, and other payments using stablecoins, including USDC and Celo, possibly by spring of 2021. Wow. Goldie, CEO
2022.
of
2020. Not 2021.
Oh, sorry about that. 2022. Goldie, CEO of First Digital, explained that the company was forced to downsize 90% of the following crypto winter of 2018. However, it's survived by branching out beyond the crypto trading sector and moving into payments, raising over $20 million to date. Quote, We were working with First from the very beginning and have been doing so very closely since they underwent their change, said Michael Shalov, CEO of Fireblocks. Like us, they don't want to become a financial institution, but rather integrate their technology with our hundreds of clients. Shalov said that they are looking into making other acquisitions, but have no imminent organizations in mind. For now, they are focusing on integrating the First Digital team. Fireblocks has amassed billions of dollars in funding since July of last year, while expanding its operations into new areas of crypto. With money from last month's raise, it now plans on investing into the cross section of DeFi, NFTs, gaming, streaming, and entertainment. The company now manages over $2 trillion in digital assets while reportedly serving over 800 clients. Even from SEC Chairman Jay Clayton works for Fireblocks as a regulatory advisor.
It's a lot
Jay
of cash.
I think Jay Clayton, if I recall correctly, he only did a short amount of time as the SEC. I think he was just a filler for the time being. But yeah, I guess he still technically owns that title. All right. That's cool. Fireblocks is doing things, and they've been around for a while. I remember them.
Mm-hmm.
They're just expanding more and more. That's good. I like when companies do this, obviously, because they want to protect their brand, their employees, and the whole ecosystem that they're building as well. So they're expanding their services to other things. That's cool, man. I like it.
Yep.
All
Well,
right.
that wraps up the news for the day.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us the plug.
Well, we appreciate that everybody's listening even this far in. This is the end of the show. At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if you just clicked away. But if you're still listening, you can always like and subscribe to our channel. Hit the notification bell. We post every Wednesday and Sunday on all our platforms. Check us out on Discord. You can contribute on Patreon or via Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance, BAT, or Raven. Thank you for listening to this Sunday show.
All right, Kryptonauts. Until next time, stack, sats, and hodl. Wait, hold on. Shout out to SOS for the music, and of course to that Canadian singer Aubrey. I like your music. Until next time, stack, sats, and hodl. Adios.